All right, guys, so in a previous video, I told you guys I would interview DC and just pick his brain a little bit about being a new barber, how barber school was, getting into the new shop, all of the above. So let's go out here, find him, and see if we can make it happen. Yo, you ready? We're gonna do that interview.
Yeah.
You wanna cut me or you want me to cut you?
I don't know.
I'll just clean you up.
All right.
That's easy enough. All right. All right, guys, so I got these new mics. A little bit expensive, guys. These are DJI, but basically I can clip this on my thing here. I'm gonna put one on DC. Then we can do live interviews in the shop during the day. All right, we're just gonna do a little cleanup on DC. You guys already saw this haircut on the channel, but in that video I told you guys I was gonna do a little interview with DC and just talk to him about kind of what it was like being in school, what it was like getting out of school, coming in the shop. How long you been in the shop now?
Almost 3 months.
3 months, so yeah, so he's had a good amount of time to kind of get used to things and yeah, anyway, thought I could bring you guys some value on just those of you who are in kind of the same spot, the same scenario, whether you're about to go to school or in school, about to find a shop, whatever it is, maybe we can give you some knowledge that'll help. So what, I guess, tell us about school you went to and kind of what that experience was like.
So I went to Rogers in Evansville, Indiana. I guess it's kind of more of like a beauty school, but they have a barber program too. It's still kind of new, I guess, but it was pretty cool. I mean, I didn't know what I was doing when I started, and you go through like a little basics class for about 6 weeks, and then you go to a color class, and then.
So that was like book work, or that was like you still did some floor?
No, you don't get on the floor until after like basics and color.
Okay.
But when you're in basics class, it's like teaching you like the basics of cutting hair, like. It's a lot of long-haired stuff, but it's a lot of...
Because of the Cosmo.
Yeah.
Because the school is more Cosmo, I guess. But yeah, so like that's something we didn't have. We went to school for a week.
Yeah.
And then got our tools and was like, here, have at it. So that's a little different.
Yeah.
So then you guys basically did however many hours of that you're supposed to do.
Yeah, I think it's 200 technically. And then you can
so that's like 5 weeks, I think, 200 hours, something like that. 40 hours a week. So yeah, then you got on the floor. So how was that experience overall, like as far as learning, and like would you say you were prepared after school? Did you learn elsewhere? Like how'd that kind of look for you?
Yeah, I mean, they did all my instructors at school did a pretty good job of preparing me for the most part for what it's gonna be like in the real world. I mean, you know, you got those school customers, so they are not the best. Get you ready for
I always tell people that the best school client is like your worst client in here.
Yeah.
In Kentucky, we do 1,500. Well, so his school actually was in Indiana, but 1,500 hours, you had to do the same, right?
Yeah.
1,500? So 1,500 hours, you graduated. You've been here 3 months, so you graduated,
I graduated
4 or 5 months ago?
Yeah, in May.
Yeah, so what do you think of like the state board? How was that for you? You feel prepared? What do you think was something, what do you think you needed to prepare for the most, and what was easy maybe? And
the practical as a whole, I guess.
The haircut.
Yeah. Because there's a lot of stuff in Kentucky that they have and laws and stuff that it's not like that in Indiana.
Yeah.
So just like stuff like the honing and stropping of the razor and things like that. And
so that's something you had to do for the Kentucky test.
Yeah.
That's not anything you did in school.
Yeah, like in Indiana, like I'm pretty sure they don't even allow you to use a conventional straight razor. It's only the changeable blade one.
Yeah, so you're not sharpening that. You're not honing and stropping that.
Right.
So you think the practical was somewhat easy?
It was, yeah. I mean, considering there's not anything like that in Indiana, I think I did pretty well on it.
Yeah.
Obviously,
so Indiana just has it written.
Yeah.
So then how was the written for Kentucky?
I don't know.
How many questions?
Kentucky, I think, is 50, and Indiana's like 130.
But that's all you do in Indiana.
Yeah. I don't know though. The Kentucky one was kind of hard.
Yeah, I mean that's a lot to. It's like a final. I mean, your written test is over everything you learned the whole time you were in school.
Yeah.
So that's a lot to. It's obviously a lot to kind of remember and put out all at once.
Yeah.
And funny, I'll give you guys a little funny fact, but in Kentucky now, you have to get, what, 75 on both, right?
Yeah.
So when I took my test 9 years ago, you could get an average. So I knew I could get an average, and I knew that the written was hard and the practical was easy. And so I knew I was going to do well on the practical. So I actually got like a 97 on the practical, and I failed the written, but my average was good. So I was actually the very last class that you could average. So funny now, I'm the only one in the shop that ever failed the written. So it's kind of a funny, you know, I got away with it before they changed it. But. So yeah, so you passed them both. You were a little worried about that, I remember, but passed them both. And like I said, DC's been in here for 3 months. So what's that been like? Like, what's the transition been like? You came to a shop that's one of the better shops around. Pretty skilled barbers, which is obviously a good thing because you can learn from everybody, but also like you're walking into a shop that the skill level that is going to be expected of you is a little bit higher. So what would you say? Like, how has that been difficult? How's it been good?
I don't know. I mean, I guess like since the reputation that you guys have made here, like I don't know if you remember, but like my first day I did like more haircuts in that whole day than I did.
Yeah.
I would do in a week at school. Yeah.
So the amount of work, which that's going to be common. I mean, no matter where you went to school and no matter where you work, you're probably going to come in and do, you know, a significant amount more in the shop. So yeah, that kind of kicks your butt a little bit that first week. Do you think you've adjusted to that? Like you can handle that a little easier now?
Yeah. Now like we get busy, I'm not freaking out or anything. Just kind of used to that stuff now. But as far as like everyone else, like being a lot better, I guess that's benefited me because it's kind of forced me like unknowingly to I guess have to like try harder.
Well, you can't help but like soak up what's going on around you.
Yeah.
So what are some like maybe struggles you would say you've had being new and some things you had to maybe like adjust to?
How many clients know how to cut hair better than you do?
Oh yeah.
That was
crazy.
A big one.
You didn't know that. You didn't know we had clients that knew how to cut hair.
Yeah, that was a big one. I had to like change my system, like as far as like fading and stuff, because in school I would fade down, but I tried to start fading up here after we kind of talked about it, and it definitely made me a lot faster.
And we talked about that, like a little combination of both is good.
Yeah.
You feel like you've been decently prepared? I mean, it hasn't been a like extreme struggle. It's been pretty smooth.
Yeah, for the most part.
Could have been better? Anything you would have done different to prepare better? Or you think it's been okay?
I think I was about as ready as I could have been.
Yeah. You got anything else you would tell either people that are thinking about being a barber?
They're thinking
or would
about
you tell people that are maybe considering it, kind of where you were a year ago?
It's worth it though.
Yeah.
If you're thinking about it, just do it.
I always tell everybody, like once you're done, it's like a blink, like a flash. You barely feel like you was at school. You have to like think back to like, man, I was there almost a whole year, and it just feels like a.
I mean, it definitely sucked at times, but now that it's over with, I would go back and do it again if I had to.
I wouldn't want to.
Right.
Because it's ugly, like I said, man. The drive, like we had to drive DC. You drove every day?
Yeah, I was carpooling with somebody at first.
Okay, so yeah, DC carpooled, I carpooled, but we were driving like 45 minutes to an hour every day to school because we didn't have a school here. And so that's, realistically, like that's something that you may have to deal with if you start. And I've had client after client over the years that. Like, oh, I want to go, but so what do I have to do? Oh, you got to drive to Evansville or Bowling Green. Oh, how am I going to do that or whatever? Yeah. Well, it ain't going to be easy. DC worked at Menards when he got back. I worked at Betos when I got back. So yeah, it's going to be a struggle, but what I always tell people is like, it's a struggle for less than a year of your life, and then you're set for life. You're done with yours now, and you're in the shop, and I would say 3 months in, like you're pretty. I don't know if I would say established. Like I don't think you have the clientele that you want yet and all that, but you're like in. Like you've made the transition from school to being in the shop, and now you can just kind of grow on that, right? So what would you tell people about to get out of school going into a shop? What do they need to be doing? What do they need to be focused on? What do they not need to be worried about, you know?
They don't need to be worried about if they're slow or if they're fast. That was a big one for me.
You're talking about cutting.
Yeah, I remember I was stressing out like, man, I'm so slow, it's gonna take forever.
Yeah.
I mean, people
you're gonna be a little slow. Like you haven't had to be on a time crunch in school. You can literally take 3 hours on a haircut and it doesn't matter because there's nobody else coming, you know? What about like business-wise? Like, do you feel like it's been increasing just by you know, I always tell people like number one thing is give a good experience.
Yeah.
Give a good experience. You know, you just sent me a review or a Facebook post the other day that somebody had a great experience with you.
Yeah.
So like they're gonna tell, unfortunately it was a baby, so they're gonna tell their friend with a baby that, oh, go to DC, he did a great job, but that's still another client. Like so, you're already giving good experience and getting return customers, and I would say growing. I mean, I'm only here a little bit, but I feel like you're getting some repeat people, getting some
for sure,
getting some still some new people, staying pretty busy most days. Well, you've been in the vlog a few times. I know that my subscribers been watching and seeing the shop grow, and it's cool to have, you know, a full team now. Me and JT were talking yesterday. You know, we feel like we got a crew that's gonna stick it out for a while.
Yeah, I hope so.
You and B kind of the final two, and I feel like we got a good group that's gonna stick it out. We can kind of grow together, and you know, like stuff like me kind of stepping away, but it's allowing for other people to kind of step up and kind of letting you guys do your thing. You know, like I'm like a proud coach, right? Like I spent all this time getting this place ready, and now we got a full crew that's solid, that all get along and are like-minded, and we can kind of go forward. And, we're already the best, but we'll continue to be the best around. So, you want to put your hat back on, or you want to rock it?
I'll wear it.
Wear your hat, or you just wear some stuff?
I'll wear some stuff.
We're gonna style it up. So, but yeah, guys, I just wanted to bring this interview. I hope these mics worked well. It was a little weird just talking like I'm. It's kind of cool. I can talk like I'm, you know, doing my voiceover, but really I'm just standing here working. So that's definitely a little bit better. I'm actually gonna try, guys. I'm gonna attach it to my wrist somehow or another and try to do some ASMR, like where you guys can hear the shears clinking and the you know, the clippers buzzing, and try to do some of that. I don't know how well these will pick up on the sound, so we will have to do that by trial and error. I may bust it out later and try to record one, but hopefully this works. You know, I can do more stuff like this, interview some of my clients, interview some of my barbers during the day with these microphones. I think they're gonna work well. I know everybody I know that has them likes them a lot, so we'll go home, get this footage out, hope that it recorded well and that it's all good, and then if you guys are watching this right now, then it worked out. So if you guys like it, you already know what to do. Tell them, DC.
Hit the plus button.
The plus button.
Is that what it is?
The thumbs up, man.
Hit the thumbs up.
Hit that thumbs up. You know, that's
the subscribe button.
The like button. Go ahead and subscribe. Okay. You guys know if you're watching and you're not subscribed, you're killing me. You're killing me, Smalls. So anyway, guys, that's it for the video. I don't know what camera we're gonna look at. We'll look at this one. I ain't got nothing else to say. Catch you guys next time.